Hi, this is Amina Sheikh here on Zoom channel, and with me today I have the fighter Akshay Oberoi. So join me as I welcome him on Zoom.
Hi, thank you, Samina. Real pleasure to be here.
I'm sure you must have heard the term fighter so many times. Like I'm saying this for the nth number time.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a fighter. I feel like the fact that I'm here in Fighter today, I fought to be here and I've worked so hard to be here. So I love that word. I love the name. I love feeling like a fighter. I love that I'm in a movie called Fighter.
I have to tell you this that Google is not able to help me out. How to lose weight in 3 months? I think I chose you chose the right person to be here.
I think that look, for me, I don't want to now inspire people to go try random diets, but intermittent fasting really worked for me.
Yeah.
And when you have Hrithik Roshan and KSG and Deepika Padukone who are so fit, and Anil Kapoor sir who are so fit, wearing those Air Force uniforms, I really had to get into shape. So the intermittent fasting thing really worked for me.
And what all you let go of while trying to maintain this physique?
I'm a huge chocolate addict. My sport Viren will tell you हमेशा chocolate लेके घूमता है because I love chocolate. So I decided for this 1 year I wouldn't touch it. So I stopped eating all this kind of like ice cream छोड़ दिया मैंने. Basically I stopped eating sugar.
Okay, completely.
And yeah, that makes such a big difference.
Really?
It really does. Like just stop sugar even a little bit. जितना भी आप coffee में चाय में डालते हो, and you'll see results in like a month. I'm not even kidding.
Chalo, I know I got the formula right now.
Yeah.
But I must say, chocolates बच्चे को दे दिया था आपके son को. He must be like lucky enough to getting all the chocolates.
Yeah, I think this year he's probably eaten my share of chocolates. Yeah, absolutely. But उसकी उम्र है खाने के लिए, so I'm okay with that.
But how was his reaction when he saw you, doing fighter scenes and all? Because kids get very excited whenever they see action sequences. They have a different, they imagine, heroes like that. अरे ये action scene क्या है, ये क्या है? Oh my God, ऐसे डिशम किया, ऐसे किया है.
Yeah. Great question, Sumera. Every day that I went to this shoot, he would say, in his mind, he said, "Papa, कौन से set पे जा रहे हो?" Sir, से fighter के set पे. And he would get this bright expression on his face because he's like, "My papa's a fighter pilot." That was so exciting in his head. So my wife Jyoti and I decided that on the screening we'll take him. And he's never been to a theatre to watch a film. घर पे बहुत सारी फिल्में देखी उन्होंने, but he's never been to a theatre. So the first experience he ever had was watching Fighter sitting right next to me. And I can't tell you, watching his father playing a fighter jet in 3D, the expression on his face was like his big eyes were popping out. And जब film खत्म हुई, ऐसे गले लग गया मुझे. He said, "Papa, that was awesome." So that reaction was one of my favorite reactions from the film.
Nice. And I have to ask you, American chai ज़्यादा अच्छी है या Indian chai?
No doubt, Indian chai. It's funny how you asked that question. So American Chai was my first film in 2002. I grew up in New Jersey. And I always felt very Indian. Even growing up in New Jersey, studying, getting educated there, my family was always very Indian. We spoke Hindi at home. I always felt culturally more attached to India. And I'm so proud and so lucky that we shifted here. My wife also grew up in New Jersey. But my son is born in Bombay. And my son is as Indian as it comes, and I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud कि हम लोग इधर छोड़ के उधर जाते हैं, हम अमेरिका छोड़ के इंडिया आए, and I'm so blessed for that.
And earlier also, Akshay, when I used to hear about you, I would always hear like, he's like, American brought it on. I'm like, इसके तो नखरे हो गए काफी. Honestly, I felt like, and when I saw you talking in Hindi, you really have very शुद्ध हिंदी. So आपने बॉम्बेया language अब तक का सीखा नहीं लगता है.
I always, मैं बचपन से मुझे एक्टर बनना था. I think मैं 12-13 साल का था और मैंने रियलाइज़ किया कि मैं हिंदी फिल्मों से ज़्यादा जुड़ा हुआ था. I used to watch, my father showed me Guru Dutt's films, Shammi Kapoor साहब्स films, Bachchan साहब्स films, Devanand's films. So I used to watch all these films. I used to get very inspired, and they looked like me, they sounded like me, they felt like me. When I watch a Tom Cruise film or a Brad Pitt film or a Johnny Depp film, it doesn't feel like me. So I always felt like अगर मुझे एक्टर बनना है तो मुझे इंडिया में आना है. And I know that for an actor, command on language is 50% of the job. So I worked very hard on my language from a young age. And thanks to my father who never let us speak English at home. हालांकि वो अंग्रेज़ी actually उनको ज़्यादा comfort अंग्रेज़ी में है. But he used to ignore us when we spoke in English. He used to say क्या समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, दोबारा बोलो. So I'm so glad he did that. नहीं तो अमेरिका के लोग आपको पता ही है how they sound, and I would never sound authentic. But here look, I've gotten to do all these parts. जैसे गुड़गांव में मैंने हरियाणवी बोली है, लाल रंग में करनाली बोली है, फ्लैश जो कि सिद्धार्थ आनंद ने ही प्रोड्यूस किया था उसमें बांग्ला बोला है. So I've played all these rustic characters even though I'm from there. So I think it's just destiny, luck, whatever things happen.
Actually, when you also joined, there was this one name which was attached to you, कि विवेक ओबरॉय का brother है. Do you also feel that at that period of time, बहुत ऐसे हो गया था that कहीं ना कहीं that nepotism was working for you, or not working for you but going against you, because people started seeing you in a different light altogether. Okay, he already has an industry contact, but whereas you must have started everything on scratch.
Yes, you're right. I did everything by myself. Somebody funnily called it reverse nepotism today in my case, which is kind of true. What's true is true. I'm not going to hide it. I did everything on my own, and it's not like I never asked. He never offered, and that's fine, because then I got to do everything on my own. And I think आज जहाँ मैं खड़ा हूँ, सबको पता है कि मैं अपने बल पे खड़ा हूँ, and that confidence is very unique. I don't think everybody has that. Usually the audience is very quick, or media is very quick to say यार ये आदमी deserve नहीं करता है, but मेरे case में सब कहते हैं कि तू deserve करता है, and that's because I've done everything on my own. Doing small parts, even with the actors I've worked with in Fighter, so many of them I've done tiny roles with. Even them, when I came on the set of Fighter, they were like so proud of me कि यार तू धीरे 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 मतलब परवान चढ़ के इधर आ गया, and that's because I did it all on my own. That confidence no one can take from me.
And you were often also compared to Hrithik Roshan, and you know that too, especially for your eyes. And finally, you're working with the green-eyed guy.
Yeah.
How was it working with the Greek god?
Oh man, they say never meet your childhood idols, but I'm so glad I met him. I remember I was 15 years old and I watched Kaho Na Pyare in a theater in New Jersey. और मैंने ये बात कभी उनके साथ शेयर नहीं की. But उस वक्त मैं भी theater करता था, and I think my dad picked me up from rehearsals. We went and watched this movie, and I was enamored, and I think somewhere I was like, his eyes and my eyes are similar. Maybe I can go to India, and maybe I can also be in Bollywood. But because of him, I started dancing, I started working out, I started working on my language. He was such an impact on me that I can't even describe how large that impact was. And here we are 20 years later, working in the same frame together, promoting this film. I'm getting advice from him, talking to him like he's my friend. Like it's a weird thing to have happened. But again, that's just the way the universe works.
So I would say that social media hashtag जो चल रहा है, manifestation worked in your favor.
I think manifestation is actually true. You're right. It's been a trending thing, and I think because the universe is starting to realize that you put something out there and you have to own it. And that's why I have a lot of respect for certain people who own it. They say it out loud. They say, "यार मैं तो बड़ा star हूँ, और यहाँ तो मैं बड़ा star बनूँगा." I've heard a lot of people say that, and they went on and became that. So it's one thing to think it. It's one thing to say it out loud. And I think to truly manifest something, you have to say it out loud.
And especially, you also worked with Deepika Padukone in Piku. Yeah. And then again sharing screen space with her in Fighter. It was a small role, but an evident one, because you were there, and that dialogue even now on Instagram, if you see, it is going viral. Okay. That embarrassing moment when your father is talking like that in front of the guy you have a crush on, or like that. But now when you're working with her in Fighter, what change do you see in her as an actress then versus now?
She was a superstar then, and I think she's a mega star now. And I think she's become more humble as time has gone on. I think she's become more real as time has gone on. She has that same positive smile. She exudes that same elegance and grace she always did. And for us, I think Piku was a very important film for her. It's the first time she played a title role. It's a very important film for me. It was the first time I worked with a superstar. In Bachchan साहब भी फिल्म में थे, इरफान खान साहब भी इस फिल्म में थे, and इतने बड़े directors के साथ मैंने काम किया था. So सुजीत सरकार. So for me also it was a very important film. So when we met on the set of Fighter, there was this immediate bonding and love and respect, because it was like, hey, you were part of something that is equally important to each other. And that made it very easy to kind of go about working with her.
Talking about the acting field, it's not that easy also to make a mark over there, to especially have a name. Now I know for your work over the years, but I'm sure you had your own difficult journey to even be out there. How did you manage that?
I think it's a very good question. It's tough. It's tough to navigate because you don't know anything, and when you don't have advice and you don't have people who are backing you, it gets very confusing. I still sometimes don't know. I keep asking my team, what should I be doing? Because I know how to act, but I don't fully grasp the business. But I think passion makes you do crazy things, So passion I always believed in myself. I'm a humble, modest person, but I'm arrogant about my talent. I've always felt I'm a good actor and I deserve to be there. And every morning, no matter how many flops I've given, and I've given a lot, I have so many films that are unreleased also that may never release. So I've had my share of, I've put in my share of hard work. But I wake up every day with the thought of I will make it, I will make it, I will get to where I need to get. And that has made me ride this wave, you know. All the way leading from my first film to Fighter, I've survived this industry because of self-belief. And I realize how important that is, you know. And maybe people call it crazy or stupid or pagalpan or whatever. To me, it's passion. You know, it's a desire of like, I believe in myself and I will get there one day.
But do you also feel that, you know, when you're passionate enough, you know, especially when actors are passionate enough, you know, people of course have their own thoughts, you know, for them. But you have to be kind of, you know, bipolar or, you know, schizophrenic while working in the industry. Like, you know, I remember Shah Rukh Khan saying for one of the posts, you know, and he wrote that, you know, my schizophrenic side of me is, you know, working on this. And why so? Because you are not managing one personality of you. There are multiple personalities in terms of your acting, then social media, then, you know, dealing with the media and your personal life.
Yeah. No, I think, look, Shah Rukh Khan understands more than any of us understand, which is why he is where he is. And he's right, you know, I think I've heard him once say that he works for Shah Rukh Khan, you know, that wo koi aur hai, but Shah Rukh Khan usko aram nahi karne deta hai. You know, and he jokes about it because he has such a good sense of humor. But there's something true about that, because every day we go on different sets, we have different names. My wife is one day on this set, somebody else, so my kid is something else on this set, so my best friend is something else. It starts to play on your head. But I think if you love something enough, you know, and I love to act, like I love it so much. I get depressed when I'm not acting. When you love something enough, you'll put up with all the things. Yeah, I don't like social media. I don't like opening Instagram. Sometimes I open it and I'm scrolling for 10 minutes and I'm like, what if I just lost 10 minutes of my life doing nothing? So it angers me, but I realize I need to engage with it because it's part of my work. I need to engage with the media because it's part of my work. I need to sell myself, which is something I'm so reluctant to do, but it's part of my work. So in order to keep acting and doing the thing I love to do, I have to put up with all these things. And it took me 14 years of being in the business to realize that.
But do you also think there are two traits which we learn while being in the industry? The major ones are humble and also, you know, being grounded. Grounded is like, of course, like humble, and having patience.
Oh man, I would put patience first. You know, I think my superpower is patience. I think I've survived because I'm patient. And watching all these people who I really respect, you know, whether that's Saif Ali Khan or Randeep Hooda, who I've worked with, all these Pankaj Tripathi, Anil Kapoor, actually top of that list is Anil Kapoor. You know, these people, their behavior is outstanding. You know, they never let anyone feel like they're such a big star, or they understand. You know, Jackie Shroff said it to me recently when we were shooting. He said those actors who understand it has nothing to do with them. It's all the things around them. It's how he's holding the camera, the light, you know, the dialogue you've been given. It has nothing to do with you. The actors who can separate themselves from the characters they play are the actors who stick around. And I think that's a very important lesson.
Yes. And I have to ask you this also, that you in these 14 years have managed to be the non-controversial actor. How did you do that?
Yeah, I think I shy away from controversy. I think maybe if I was better at it, I would create more of a splash and I would have a larger Instagram following, and I think people would talk about me more. But I shy away from it. I've always been one of those actors that are like, "Mera kaam bolega, let the work speak." And I still believe that. And I think it takes actors like me longer to make their mark. Because a controversy is a shoot fame up, you know. It's suddenly people start talking about you and you're everywhere. And I wanted to keep it clean. I wanted people to talk about me as an actor, and that's what I've achieved. You know, whoever recognizes me or meets me at an airport or walking on the streets, they will always say, "I really loved you in that," or "I really liked your work in this," or "You're such a good actor." So no one talks about the people I've dated, because I've dated no one. People don't talk about the things I've said, because I don't say anything bad about anyone. They talk about my work, and that's really what I wanted. Sure, there's a lot more of an audience I need to reach out to. Sure, there are many more things, more commercial success that I desire, and that'll come slowly, but it'll come because of my work. It won't come because of the controversies I've created.
You also recently said that Sara Ali Khan is what she is on social media. I want to know your experiences of working with her. How is she, like, you know, clumsy, funny? How she is?
It's funny that you picked that up. I think I did say, I don't know that I said that, but I do feel that. So I must have said that. She is. The second I met her on the set of Gaslight, she's like a live wire. You know those things she does where she like raps or she does these rhyming things.
The puns. Yeah, the
she
puns.
is that person, you know. And I think that's why it works. Because she's not pretending to be someone. She is exactly who she is. And that kind of, I think human beings are very smart. We pick up on honesty. We pick up on authenticity.
Yeah.
And she's authentic. And that's why her social media is the way it is. If I could find that hook, you know, that how do I tell you about me? Who am I know that my following would be even higher than it is.
Yeah.
Her father is also like this, by the way.
Yeah.
Her father is also very authentic, and he makes fun of himself constantly, and you know, he understands where he comes from and who he is, but still kind of doesn't wear that jacket of मैं star हूँ. You know, I have a lot of respect for Saif.
You recently also said that you are more dedicated towards your audience and you prefer to get, seeking validation from them.
Yeah.
But sometimes does that get taxing on you because there's a lot of pressure also because they are expecting out of you a lot. Now, especially after Fighter, the pressure would be more on you.
Yeah. I think the pressure is for other people to take, not for me. I chose this line because I love this work and I love to have fun. You know, I love to be on a set and I love to laugh with my co-stars and I love to work with dialogues and I love to work with my director. So I don't take that pressure. I hope that the audience keeps seeing that यार ये मेहनती लौंडा है, मेहनत करता है, आता है रोज, like कोशिश करके जाता है. That's all I can ask for from them. But you're right, I seek a lot of validation from them because it's been so long and hard that I've gained a whatever fan following I have. It's been so long a process that I value it that much. You know, that I wake up thinking जितना भी कमाया वो तो नहीं चला जाए life से. So I try very hard to keep them, anytime I meet a fan or I meet someone who likes my work, I really make sure I left them understanding how much it means to me that they like my work. Because I've gotten it the hard way. And when you get something the hard way, you value it more. So that's why I really take their feedback very seriously.
Well, thank you so much for your lovely time. But before I let you go, what are your upcoming projects you're working on? And I could see a long list for this one.
Yeah, I have maybe it's insecurity or maybe it's just, I don't know what, just a workaholic. I love to work. I love to keep getting out there and acting. So I did a lot of work last year along with Fighter. There's a show that I do called Illegal. So uska तीसरा season आ रहा है. There's a show called Broken News with Jaideep Palawat and Shreya Pilgaonkar. Uska पहला season आ चुका है. I enter in the second season. There's a film about the Bihari coal mines, about a rags to riches story about a young boy from in Bihar that I did with Ravi Kishan. Then there's the 2014 with the OG Jackie Shroff, which we're still shooting. I have to finish the film next week in Bhuj. And then there's a film called Tu Chahiye, which is directed by Ratna Sinha, who made Shadi Mein Zaroor Aana. Yeah. That's like an intense love story. So there's all this work. Now let's see how it is received, and I hope everyone likes it.
Well, thank you so much, Akshay, for your lovely time and all the very best.
Hi, this is Akshay Oberoi, and you are watching me exclusively on Zoom.